Hello, I'm going to show you how to plant tomatoes. This is something fun and easy you can do at home, whether you live in an apartment, in a city with a small backyard, or even if you have all the room in the world, you can grow tomatoes. Today, we're just going to plant 6 tomatoes in one of these little packets here. Each cell is going to get 1 seed. You can put 2 seeds in each cell, but today we're just going to do 1. Here's what you'll need. The essentials: some tomato seeds, obviously, and some dirt. Be sure when you get dirt, you get some seed starting mix. You don't want to use regular potting soil. It doesn't drain as good, and it's just not the right mixture. Some water, a container to put them in, whether it be these little cells or even these, or maybe even a pot like this might work. You could even use just some sort of pot or something laying around. Just be sure, again, and poke holes in the bottom for drainage. Also, if you're going to be cutting water bottles and making drain holes, make sure you have an adult around to help you out with this kind of stuff, so be careful. Now, also, if you're going to grow more than 6 seeds, you might need a tray, something like this, to put more seeds in, or more of these trays, and they fit nicely right inside of these. And when these get a little older, we can transplant these into these pots, and you might need a tray for these as well. Another thing that might help if you don't like touching dirt is to wear some gloves. Or you can grab a little shovel and just shovel the dirt in. If you don't have a shovel, just use a spoon from your kitchen and just clean it up really well when you're done. It's really no big deal. Another thing you might need is just a small clear box. This kind of helps with the greenhouse kind of effect. This is something easy you might have laying around as well that you just don't use anymore. Another thing you might need if you don't have a tray and you're doing this indoors at your apartment is just a plate, so that when you water this, you can just take your little tray, sit it right on top, put some water in there, and the plate catches the water that runs through the dirt. Easy peasy. So first, let's grab some soil. I actually like using my hands during this. And you just grab a handful, kind of hold over the bag, and you just drop some in. Yeah, just top those guys off. And be sure when you're working indoors, if you don't want to get dirt all over your table, just cover it up with maybe a garbage bag or something like that. So once we get a good layer on top, we can just kind of start tamping this soil down just a little bit. Just give it a nice little push. Doesn't have to be super firm. Just get the air pockets out of it. Take your finger and push a little hole right in the middle, about a 1/4 inch deep. That's 1/4 inch. Then I'm going to take my tomatoes and spread some out in my hand. I'm going to need 6 tomato seeds, and you put 1 in each hole. That is just 1. Just drop them in there and then easily cover them up and press right back down. And sometimes, you know, if you don't have an even covering, you can add a little more soil right over where you put the seed. Just a little bit. Push that down, and we're going to add a little bit of water. So take your water and be very easy with this. Just easily add a little bit of water. Doesn't have to be perfect. To each cell. That works kind of okay, but I like to use a mister and just pump this thing up. Now that is plenty of water on the top layer. That damp soil is going to push the water through that, and it's going to be just fine. Now I'm going to let this soak in and check it again in a couple of hours, and then probably add a little bit of water. You want the soil moist, not totally saturated when you start these seeds. I actually like getting dirt on my hands sometimes. So what you can do also is just take this, put it on your plate, and just sit it by the window. Now, when these guys get a little bit bigger, I'm going to show you how to transplant them and how to cull the ones that didn't grow. So when these guys get a little bit bigger, I'll show you how to do that. Thanks for watching.